All right, folks, we're here at the NOC on Nantahala River with Bert. He's got an NRS Bandit, which I don't think they make any longer,
Nope.
but real nice ducky boat here. So, Bert, what are the rivers that you like to run in this most of the time?
Well, we first got some of these because some friends of ours, because we wanted to run the upper green down in Saluda. We were running the lower green, we were running the Tuck, we were running Tuckasegee, we were running Nantahala. We've done other rivers as well, but we like to say with the smaller rivers, the older we got. So we got this to come out of the upper green because the takeout was so hard, and they're so lightweight, and we were running the class 3 plus slides up in there, drops up in there, and it made a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, how long have you had it, I guess?
I think it was like 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Right in there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks brand new, too.
Yeah, we just 303 them occasionally.
Yeah.
And keep them rolled up in Rubbermaid type boxes we got from Walmart. We
Yeah.
just measured them and throw them in there.
Sure,
over the
sure.
winter, yeah.
Well, and I think, we talked about this a little while ago, but I know that NRS now makes the Outlaw, which is a PVC boat. I've had one of those, and it's a very different design. They also make a Maverick, which is made out of Hypalon, which is the heavy rafting material. And we're not sure, I probably need to Google it later,
Yeah.
but I think this might be a urethane because it is like a lot slicker, and it definitely feels lighter when you lift this boat up compared to some of the
yeah.
other inflatable kayaks.
And I think, from what I heard, the material got too expensive for NRS or whoever was making them for them.
Well, I know now
trying to
that
do
there are several companies that you can get a urethane model,
Yeah.
and they are almost twice as much.
Yeah.
So that may be the.
So we tried to buy a few of them before this discontinued.
Yeah, well, it looks great, and so there's definitely a different kind of design from the current Outlaw, and but I guess it's closer to the Maverick than the Outlaw.
I think so. Some of my friends who are outfitters, they prefer the Bandits, but they're just difficult to find now.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I agree.
they prefer them.
You don't see as many of them. So a couple of things. It's got this I-beam kind of floor, which is really pretty thick, like 6-8 inches. And we'll flip it over in a minute and look, but it's got the same kind of thing going on the bottom. So you've got a good thick floor to sit on. So if you're bumping over rocks, you're not really gonna feel it. Versus, I know the Outlaw, that was one of the issues. It's about a 2-inch drop stitch floor. Might make it real stiff, but you definitely can feel the rocks that you slide over. The other thing I think that this would do, and I haven't paddled it, but just based on my experience with rafts and other boats, looks like with the I-beams, you would get better tracking.
You do, and I think doing eddy turns or peel outs, if you can say we can do them in duckies, I think you're just getting a lot better turns with it too.
Yeah, and when we look at the bottom, that'll make sense because
Yeah.
this does look like you could put it a little bit on edge.
Yeah.
Versus a flat bottom catamaran style,
Right.
which is what some of the other ones are. Well, the other thing that I noticed here, and there's been a lot of ways to get at this, but you need something, if you're doing bigger water, something to press your feet against. It helps you with your paddle strokes. It also helps keep you in the boat. And
Right. As a foot block or like a bulkhead in a regular kayak, we initially got them because these drops on the upper green the lines we had to take were pretty steep.
Yeah.
And so we were sliding forward in the boat. So we said, well, let's just put these in and to stop us from sliding. But of course they serve a dual purpose as like a bulkhead to press your feet against. We attached them through the scupper holes, just through the drainage scupper holes.
Oh, yeah,
and go
yeah,
in
yeah,
one
on
and
the
come out
bottom.
the other. But a friend of mine worked at an outfitter in Charlotte, and they actually, on one of them, he put a D-ring underneath this, and then it would come up and go around this
Yeah,
way with the
okay.
strap. So I think that's probably better than the setup I've got.
And that's just like closed cell foam
Closed cell
that you
foam.
could, like in open canoes that
Correct.
you find. Yeah. Okay, that's a great idea. I mean, that really is a great. I've seen thwarts, and then of course foot pegs. I've got the foot pegs, and I'm not crazy about them because if you come off of it, you kind of scratch your leg up
Right,
or
I was
whatever.
going to go that route, but I'm really glad I went this route. I was an open boater for a long time, and so I like the closed cell foam. we just kind of carved it in our own shape.
Great solution, and not a particularly expensive way to go either. So, okay, well, and also you've got the straps in here, which the thigh straps, which I think, I've said it on all these videos. I think it's kind of a must-have if you're in whitewater. It really helps.
And there are a couple of ways you can do that too. Here again, you can loop them. There are different ones. I'm trying to think who made the other kind. Maybe NRS sells them.
Yeah, they do.
You can loop them through the scuppers, but we put 4D rings in just for our case.
All right. And then also just something I always look at are like, attachment points. So I guess you were going through the drain holes down here for that. You've got some D-rings in here, to connect the seat thwart, and then I guess they also, for these.
Actually, the seat thwart goes through the scuppers as well.
Okay.
But we put the 4D rings just for the thigh straps.
Yeah. Okay. Did you add those?
Yeah.
You added the D-rings.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And I suppose it could be worked up through the holes in the bottom as well.
Oh, yeah. They make them that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think I told you this earlier. I just ordered a thwart backrest for my Air Lynx because I'm not crazy about that cheetah chair, but I know that your friend had a cheetah chair. And, I mean, I've paddled it that way a long time. I just think this will be a easier, cleaner, and more flotation. All right, and then back here, some more D-rings, which is I guess, similar way.
These are standard. I think they come on the boat, as I recall.
Yeah. And they do on the Outlaws as well. They're I think they've got 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
I just carry an extra pump on the Nana Hill.
Sure.
Because of the cold water
and looks like got C7 valves, which are great. Most of the NRS stuff has that, so that's nice. Can we flip it over real quick? Take a look. All right, I'll back up. So you see, like, for example, the Outlaw, and I know the Zoik inflatable and the Thrill Seeker, they are running off of the side tubes like a catamaran. That's kind of the, and so this one definitely has this I-beam that pops up, which would definitely make it perform in a different way. So I'm thinking that, that would help with tracking. I suppose it could be less stable, but if you're accustomed to other types of boating, then I don't think that'd be an issue. It might be let you carve a little bit more, or whatever you want to do.
Well, when you're surfing too, it's a lot more maneuverable.
Yeah.
I think. Now, of course, I've heard the Outlaws are very, very good with more of a planing type. Well, whatever kind of hull they have for surfing, but we're very happy with this.
Yeah. And you can see kind of how some of these things have been attached through the drain holes, and plenty of those. How does it drain? Does it drain pretty fast? Or?
Pretty quick. I went through a whirlpool today, and it filled up with water, and of course it stopped me and started pulling me back because it was so full. But other than that, things like that, it drains really fast.
Well, that was a complaint of mine with the Outlaw. I don't know if it's the drop stitch floor. I don't know what it is, but it would definitely get a lot of water in it and not drain quickly. In some cases, I think it may have helped as a ballast. You kind of blast through things, you get a little weight in the boat, but I don't know. I guess I would rather have the water out. But well, Bert, I appreciate you walking us through, and nice to meet you, and I look forward to seeing you on the river.
All right,
thanks, man. So Julie, some quick thoughts on it, and then we'll take a look at it.
Well, I like it because, like you said, it has a little bit of a keel to it in the middle and the bottom, so it helps you to track in the water and gives you a lot more maneuverability. Felt like on a flat bottom one, you're just getting blown around by the wind all the time.
Yeah.
So this has really worked well for me.
Yeah, and the other thing I've noticed about this one is I think it's a little lighter. Maybe it's because it doesn't have the drop stitch floor like the newer Outlaw. But okay, and I think this one is probably ideal for a little bit of a smaller frame person. I'm not sure if you were at like 200 pounds or more, or really tall, that it would be a great fit. But
that's the other thing about it that I really liked, because on some the bolsters are so wide that you're reaching so far to get to the water that you're never getting a good forward stroke.
Yeah.
So I like this one. It's more narrow for a thinner person or a woman or somebody with shorter arms.
Yeah. Well, I'll just do a quick walk through here, and we'll see what we got. All right. So the fronts just kind of got this. You know, a few, not a lot of, I don't really see any D-rings in here, and this one doesn't have a thwart or foot pegs or the thigh straps, but I would definitely add thigh straps and maybe a thwart. So the backrest here is just a thwart. Looks like it's got the C7 valves, got a floor valve, a couple of D-rings here, so you could strap some things in. But yeah, this I-beam floor looks like it's 6 or 8 inches deep, which would be good if you're bumping over rocks. So I'm just going to turn it over and check out the bottom here. So the bottom looks more like some rafts that we see, but lots of drain, self-bailing drain holes, and then you know this bottom is different than the Outlaw because it sort of pops out, looks like it would track with those I-beams. So yeah, looks like this would be, if you could get your hands on one, because they don't make them anymore, might be a great boat for a smaller frame person. All right, the NRS Bandit. Thanks.